This is the second part of the Greek culture discussion. We're just going to briefly talk about some of these topics. You need to be able to recognize them, understand them, and also, if you were given a primary source on them, which you will in class, but be able to answer questions based on that on a test or quiz. Also, once again, this overriding theme, if you go back to that original question that I asked you last time, is how are these historical events of classical Greece influencing the cultural movement of classical Greece? What you're going to see today is more of a continuation of what has been going on with Greece since Greece was Greece, basically. These advancements that they are going to be able to come up with, they are very important, and you need to know them for class. Be able to just know them, recite them for class next time. Okay? So first off, we have architecture. We have different types of columns. If you go around to Washington, D.C., you will see these columns. This is what they look like: the Doric, Ionic, the Corinthian. All of them different styles. You will see these columns. Columns are very important in Greek architecture. We've already talked about that. Let's move on. Oh, mathematics. Euclidean geometry. That's why they call it Euclidean geometry. He is the father of geometry. Euclid. He writes the book The Elements, which became the foundation for what modern-day geometry is. Pythagoras, of course, the famous theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. These are the basic facts, but you have to remember about these guys is that they are doing this not just for, making 15-year-olds thousands of years from now suffer in a math class. They are doing it because they're looking for order within the universe. That's what they're really looking for. That's why they're doing what they're doing, and they're researching it. They think that, and still today, you ask people, math is a universal language. You all understand counting. You all understand these mathematical principles. So that's what they're really after here. Let's talk science. Archimedes, one of the most important scientists ever. Greek mathematician and scientist, most likely educated in Alexandria, Egypt. He's going to come during the reign of Alexander the Great. He has theories of buoyancy, of how water is displaced. The idea is he's in his bathtub and he has this eureka moment. His major contributions to mathematics include discovering the formulae for the areas of volumes of spheres, cylinders, parabolas, and any other geometric figure you could pretty much think of. He ends up being killed by a Roman soldier during the siege of the city of Syracuse. He ignored the soldier's challenge while he was engaged in the math problem. That's the story, that he was that dedicated. There's all sorts of other contributions that he's going to have. He's a pioneer on things like the lever and pulley system. He actually is credited with building a gigantic hook that on a lever and pulley system that can actually be partially submerged, and when an enemy ship came, you could actually hook the ship and raise it out of the water so it would be stuck there, and then you could just, firebomb it to, wherever. There's also some primary sources, and we don't know if it's actually accurate or not. That's debatable. But almost inventing like rudimentary missiles, like this idea of Greek fire that would actually be shot at an opposing figure. We don't know if this actually was what was going on or to what extent it was, but it's still credited to this guy. So he has great, long-lasting contributions in the fields of math and science. Medicine, still recited today. A version of what Hippocrates, or what is written based on Hippocrates, is still recited by doctors and nurses today. He is credited as being the father of modern medicine. We know very little about his personal life, but it is this idea of a Hippocratic oath. Doctors promising that they're not just going to leave people alone if they're dying, or if they see somebody that is, lying next to an automobile accident. Even today, you are obliged by this Hippocratic oath to help them. Once again, guys, whether you're talking about medicine or science or mathematics or plays, Greek tragedy, Greek comedy, philosophy, During the classical era, you are seeing really the formulation of what we consider to be Greek culture. So that's what we got in this backdrop of the development of the Polis, the Persian Wars, the Athenian domination of the Delian League, the Peloponnesian conflict, and then what you'll see next time, the takeover of much of the known world by Alexander the Great. Thanks for listening. See you in class.